You were just teaching your live stream viewers how to build an AK-47 from scratch, and the next day some guy actually stormed an elementary school with one. He took down dozens of armed officers and held over 1,800 students and staff hostage. To buy time and collect the full prize money, he even threw smoke grenades he learned to make from your stream. Just as the chief stood there in total shock and was getting ready to negotiate, 3 of the hostage takers suddenly burst through the smoke with their hands up. The chief immediately ordered snipers to take them out, and they won. But the chief still looked pissed even though it was just a counter-terrorism drill. Getting played like a fool by 3 actors in front of all those reporters and civilians, and having to wrap it up only because the actors chose to give themselves up, honestly, that was embarrassing as hell. Right. Then the casualty assessment team came back and reported a total of 120 casualties during the drill. The actors had controlled 1,792 hostages and held out for 33 minutes. Based on the reward rules, the actors had earned a total prize of $9.9 million. The second they heard that number, all 3 actors stood up straight and tall, looking absolutely full of themselves. But hold on. Big Mike let out a sly grin and pulled a squished gel bead out from the front of Steve's chest. There's another 100 grand right here, and as soon as those words dropped, the whole scene erupted and every single camera in the place swung straight towards Steve. Shutters firing off like crazy, just a training drill. And even the chief got dragged into it. This was big news. What 100 grand, Chief Sullivan is really going for it, huh? No, Chief, that came straight out of your own mouth. $100,000 for every senior officer rank or above eliminated. Sullivan was fuming. He waved his hand and barked, "You people built unauthorized firearms, and you think you deserve prize money. Take them into custody now. Interrogate them thoroughly." This AK-47 is practically identical to a real weapon. Anyone who can build something like this is definitely not your average person. Lock them up and deal with them accordingly. Big Mike and the others were shook. They deflated instantly. "Come on, Chief, my mom is in the hospital waiting on money. Her life is on the line, I really need this money." Big Mike panicked and blurted out, "I didn't even build it. I got it from a live stream. I learned it all from a live stream. Anyone with hands can pick it up just like that, Chief." Sullivan froze and said, "You mean someone is publicly live streaming tutorials on how to build an AK-47? Dead silence fell over the police conference room. The tension was suffocating. They had already tested it, attaching a firing pin to the prop AK-47. Loading 7.62mm rounds, it punched clean through 3mm steel plate without breaking a sweat. This was no prop. It was a fully functional weapon just loaded with gel beads instead of real ammo. Word of the incident brought every city official, big and small, running. They were all sitting in the conference room chain smoking with long faces. Nobody could have guessed that a routine riot response drill would uncover what looked like an illegal arms manufacturer. And this person was brazenly live streaming everything out in the open. What made it worse was they had watched the tutorial themselves and couldn't find a single thing to pin on him. The AK-47 you built was a mini model, no paint, no firing pin, no barrel, and no rifling. Technically speaking, the Joule output didn't even meet the legal threshold for charges. But anyone with half a brain could clearly see. Your tutorial was straight up teaching people how to build an AK-47 illegal, but somehow not illegal, dancing right on the edge of the law after deliberating among the leadership. They ultimately decided to bring you in first, and at this point you had no idea any of this was happening. You went live just like any other day. A student asked me, "What would you do if you got dropped into a post-apocalypse and zombies were storming the gates?" So welcome to Lucas Handcraft Workshop, Episode 12, building a Gatling gun from scratch starting now. Before long, a gel bead Gatling gun was done, and you finished up by dropping a bold claim on stream. "Whatever you can imagine, I can build it, and whatever you can't imagine, I can build